I don't pay for software, I build it. What you're watching is the system that runs my business. And by the end of this video, you'll have built your own version of it. For the last year, I've built everything with one tool, Claude Code. This is the full course. You'll set it up, teach it your project, and give it memory that survives between sessions. You'll install skills that cost nothing until they fire, and put one gate in front of it so nothing ships broken. No code background needed. I'm not a developer either. Every demo is a real session on a real project. By the end, you'll have one working system and the starter file that starts it. Free. First link in the description. Let's build! Claude Code is a terminal tool. If the word terminal makes you close the tab, wait. You will type 3 commands today, and none of them are code. One command installs it, one command opens it. The third one is just you talking. Watch. I open the terminal, I type Claude, and I'm in a conversation that can read my files, write my files, and run things for me. That's the whole interface. Here's the first thing worth knowing. You are not talking to a chatbot that guesses. It can read the folder you are sitting in. Ask it what this project is, and it goes and looks. The quality of what you get out has almost nothing to do with how clever your prompt is. It has everything to do with what's on disk when the session starts. A fresh session knows nothing about you. Every file in your project folder is what it wakes up knowing. Which brings us to the file that changes everything. In the root of your project, there's a file called CLAUDE.md. Whatever you write there is standing instruction. Most people leave it empty and then re-explain their project 40 times a week. Mine has 3 sections. What this project is in 2 sentences. What done looks like, so it knows when to stop. And the rules, the things I got tired of correcting. Here's the test that proves it works. Same request, same model, 2 projects. Watch this properly, because it is the whole argument for the file. 2 folders, same question. One has a Claude.md. One is empty. The empty folder has to guess, so it asks me what I want or invents something generic. The setup folder already knows what the project is, what done means, and the rules. Same model, same request, different answer. The empty project gets a generic answer. The setup project gets my answer in my structure following my rules first try. You don't write this file from scratch. Grab the starter in the description, fill in the blanks, drop it in the folder. Your agent forgetting everything between sessions is not a model problem. It's a file system problem. The model has no memory. What it has is whatever is on disk when the session starts. 3 files carry almost all of it. The first says what the project is and what done looks like. That's the Claude.md you just made. The second says what already broke and why. Every time something goes wrong and we fix it, 1 line goes in that file, because the same mistake should never cost me twice. The third is a short index that points at both, small enough that it loads every session without me thinking about it. Watch what happens when I ask a brand new session about a bug from earlier. It checks the file, finds the line, and answers like it was there, because in the only way that matters, it was. Skills are free until you use them. So the question isn't how many to install, it's whether each description would wake the right skill at the right moment. Level 1 is the name and description. Always loaded, about 100 tokens per skill. Install 60 skills, and that's all you carry until one fires. Level 2 is the skill body. It loads only when your request matches the description, under 5,000 tokens. I'll audit mine on screen right now. Level 3 is the bundled files beside it, opened only when the instructions cite them by name. A skill can be huge and still load small. And the description is the trigger. Say what the skill does and when to use it, or it never fires. 60 skills at 100 tokens each is 6,000 tokens of descriptions sitting in every session before you ask anything. That is the real number people miss. So the discipline is not fewer skills, it is descriptions sharp enough that the right one wakes up. A skill that never fires still costs you level 1 every single time. When a task fails, everyone's instinct is a bigger model. Almost every time, the real problem is a bigger job than one session should hold. It needs a smaller job. 2 habits fix it. First, plan mode. Before Claude Code touches a file, it can show you the plan. Stay in that mode longer than your instinct says. Every question you settle in the plan is a bug you don't debug later. Watch a real feature go through plan mode. This is where I tell it no. The plan says it will touch 3 files. I only wanted 1. Saying that now costs me a sentence. Saying it after the edit costs me a rollback. Then, cut the job in half. Not because the model is weak, but because a smaller change is one you can actually read before you accept it. Mine is boring on purpose. Before anything goes out, one script checks the output exists, checks it's not empty, checks the obvious ways it has broken before. Watch it catch one. I'll break something on purpose, run the pipeline, and the gate stops it cold. Here is the whole gate. It is a handful of lines. Does the file exist? Is it empty? Does it contain the things that burned me before? It caught the M dash, and it caught the hype word. That stop is the difference between a system you babysit and a system you trust. Every line in this gate is a mistake I only had to make once. Remember the 10 seconds you watched at the very start. Here it is again, and this time, you know every piece of it. That's every piece running as one loop. The project file tells it who you are. Memory means no mistake costs you twice. Skills wake on their own triggers. Plans get approved before a single file changes. And the gate catches junk before it ships. And here's the part I love. Yours won't look like mine. Change the rules, swap the skills, make it fit the way you work. Then go build it today. If this helped, follow. I post one Claude build every week. And drop a comment with what you built. Stuck on a step? Put your question in the comments too. I read every one. You don't rent software, you build it. Start with the file that starts everything. The CLAUDE.md starter, free. First link in the description. Build the first piece of yours today.